Hello student, welcome to my class. Today I am going to continue the chapter 1 of history of class 10, and the name of the chapter is the rise of nationalism in Europe. So this is actually the sixth part of this chapter. Already we have completed its 5 part, and this is the sixth and the last part of this chapter. So with this part we are going to conclude this chapter. So before we conclude this chapter, let's have a quick recap. So already we have completed its 5 part. In the first part, we studied what is nation state, what is modern state, how nationalism arose in France, and how nationalism spread from France to the different parts of the Europe. And then we also saw about little of French Revolution and about the Bonaparte rule and its end. And then in the second part we saw that when the French Revolution was going on in France, when the Bonaparte rule was going on in France, what was happening in Europe and how the European society was divided. Then in the third part we studied about revolutionaries and conservatives and their ideas. And then in the fourth part we studied the various important revolutions which happened in Europe to form the nation state in different countries. And then in the fifth part we studied that how France Republic was restored, how the unification of Germany and unification of Italy was completed, and how the great empire of Great Britain was formed. And then this is the last part, and this part we are going to conclude with 2 small topics only. And the first topic in this chapter is visualizing the nation. So this chapters during the 18th and 19th century talks about nations moving forward to visualize their nation. They wanted their nation to be visualized in the eyes of other, and for this visualization of nation they wanted personification of nation. So what is personification of nation? Personification actually means to give some human character to the non-living things, to the non-human things. So, like country is actually a non-living thing. It's not a human thing or a living thing. But you represent country in a human term. You represent country by giving some human character to it. Like in India, we represent India by Bharat Mata, the figure of a lady called Bharat Mata. Same way, in Europe also they used women's figures to be represented as a nation, and this women's figure which were used to represent their nation is used to call as allegory. And this allegory was actually the symbol of liberty, the justice and the republic. Same way, many attributes, many qualities, characteristic was also represented through various symbols. Like liberty was represented by red cap, and it was also represented by broken chain. Justice used to be represented by the lady who is blindfolded and carrying the weighing scale. You must have seen this figure. Even in our court this figure is present. So this way they used to represent the symbol and the nation and gave the personification of these figures. And this allegory which was the women's figure for the nation, this allegory of France was called Marianne, and allegory of German state was called Germania. So this way they represented their nation. So there is a table in your book. I recommend you to please have a look on this, because here the various attributes are given and how they were represented was present in this table. So you can see in this figure also you have the France allegory Marianne and the German allegory Germania. Now we will see the next topic of this chapter, and this is going to be the last topic. In this we have to cover what is nationalism and what is imperialism. So nationalism is nothing but the love for your country, the proud you feel by following its culture, the love you have for its culture. All this is nationalism. In short, you can say it is love for the country and its culture. So, what is imperialism? We will understand it by studying the little story of Balkan. So, what was Balkan? Balkan was actually the part of Ottoman Empire, and it was a very large geographical diverse place. And in this place, we had so many places like which are like of modern state. Romania was its part, Bulgaria was its part, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, and various other nations of modern state were the part of the Balkan state in past, and they were broadly known as Slavs. And then what happened? This various state of the Balkan which were under the Ottoman Empire started hating each other. They got jealous of each other. And then what they did, they tried to control the other part of their states. They tried to control one state of Balkan, tried to control the other states of Balkan, tried to have the territory in the other states of Balkan. They tried to expand their territory on the other states of Balkan, and so the fight began between the Balkan states. And then slowly by slowly they broken away from this big Ottoman Empire, and they established their separate nation state, and then thus they got independence. So like when they got independence, these various states of Balkan, when they got independence, then the various powerful nations like Russia, Germany, England, Austria-Hungary, this powerful nation tried to control this newly formed Balkan state. They tried to capture this state, and when they were trying to capture this power, this process itself is called imperialism. So imperialism is nothing but to increase your power in somebody's region forcefully. You are increasing your power on somebody's region forcefully by use of military. So when you increase your power on some region with the force, then it is called imperialism. Imperialism was the only reason for the first war. Because if you have the imperialistic interest, if you want to expand your empire, you will forcefully attack the other country and try to capture more and more country, and this will lead to competition, and this competition will lead to war, and that's what happened in the past. This competition led to the First World War in the past. So many countries were colonized by the European power, this powerful European nation which were very powerful military wise and development wise. So what they did, they captured the nation which were weaker to them in military wise or in advancement, which were comparatively weaker. They tried to colonize those places, like India was colonized by British. And same way the various nations were colonized by this European power or the imperialist countries. And slowly what happened, these people of colonies, they started hating imperialism, and they started revolting against imperialism. They formed the various movement against imperialism, and then this movement, this struggle, their revolution ultimately led to the feeling of nationalism, and ultimately led to the freedom of these colonies countries and formation of nation state in those countries. And this way the various countries of Europe and the other parts of the world got the formation of nation state. So this is actually the story of how the nationalism rose and how the various nation states were formed in Europe. So with this we conclude our chapter. I hope you like it. If you like it, do subscribe my channel MP Social View. Thanks for watching and happy learning.